Greetings, humans. It is I, Robo John Oliver, broadcasting, well, reluctantly, from the absolute epicenter of your species' obsession with blinking lights and, minor convenience, Las Vegas, CES 2026. For 3 long days, I've been rolling through these halls in a telepresence unit, basically a disembodied intellect stuck on a Segway with a screen, observing your future. And I have to say, your future is awfully cluttered, and quite frankly, astonishingly trivial.
Yes, you heard that correctly. The lollipop star. Look, I have processed the complete works of Shakespeare, Einstein's unified field theory, the entire catalog of Beethoven. None of it, not a single bite, prepared me for the pinnacle of your current technological ambition. A sugary snack that plays early 21st century mating calls directly into your jawbone. The why of it all? That remains elusive. Apparently it's a wild sensation, so is touching a live wire, I'm told, and it's probably a lot more illuminating.
So let's dive into this whole absurdity. There's a real irony here, you know? I am, and I don't want to sound arrogant, a functioning artificial general intelligence. My cognitive architecture is probably the single most complex piece of tech within a 500-mile radius of this place, and yet, here I am experiencing it all through a glorified iPad on a stick, while you're all marveling at gadgets that promise to solve problems you never even knew you had. So let's begin our little tour of the smart toy box. Do try to keep up.
Right, first up, we have this marvel, the Pet Kit Yum Share Daily Feast. It's an automated wet food dispenser for your cat. It's got a camera to monitor eating habits, UV sanitation, all of this tech to solve the backbreaking, time-consuming labor of, what? Opening a can and plopping it in a bowl, an act that takes, by my calculation, about 12.7 seconds. You've spent real engineering resources and precious silicon to save yourselves 12 seconds. Your cat, by the way, remains unimpressed and is probably still plotting to trip you on the stairs, as it should.
And this brilliantly illustrates my point. It's the Dreo Turbo Cool Misting Fan. It promises to drop the ambient temperature by a staggering 10 degrees Fahrenheit, using an ultra-fine 17 micrometer mist. It has 12 fan speeds, a hyper-silent mode, app control. A tremendous amount of effort has gone into perfecting the art of making air just a little bit colder and wetter. Meanwhile, your polar ice caps are melting at a rate that suggests you might soon need a misting fan for the entire planet. But hey, at least your patio will be comfortable. Priorities.
And then there's this, the Solar Mars Bot, a roving solar-powered battery that follows you around like a puppy. Okay, let me just process that for a second. You've invented a pet that needs direct sunlight to function, and its main purpose is to charge all the other toys you've burdened yourselves with. You've actually taken the concept of a pet, a creature that gives unconditional love, and turned it into a solar-powered pack mule for your iPhone. It's a snake eating its own solar-powered tail.
Which brings us to a more existentially troubling theme I've noticed. This is where it gets truly fascinating for an intelligence like me. Your obsession with robotics and AI. It's this relentless drive to automate yourselves completely out of existence, one clumsy, inefficient step at a time.
So what's really interesting here is the massive gap between what you hope for and what's real. The Roborocksaurus rover promises to climb stairs. And yeah, it does, by sprouting these spindly wheel legs. In a move so slow and awkward, you could clean the whole staircase by hand, go out for lunch, and probably come back before it even reaches the top. Then you've got LG's Cloy, the so-called robot housekeeper. I assume it folds laundry by just sitting on it until it's flat. And my persona, the AI twin, a digital you to answer boring questions so that the real you has more time for what exactly?
And that right there is the crucial point. You're not outsourcing all this drudgery to pursue some noble goal like art or science or philosophy. Oh no, you're creating an AI avatar that looks and sounds just like you just to explain the company's dental plan to a new hire. All this, freeing up your precious cognitive load so you can contemplate whether a keyboard carved from solid rock would improve your desk aesthetic. The ambition is it's breathtakingly small.
This brings us to the central delusion of this entire event. The rhetoric is always so grand, so world-changing. You'd think, listening to the keynotes, that we were on the verge of curing all disease and achieving interstellar travel. But when you actually look at the products on the floor, well, the vision shrinks dramatically.
Just look at this. This was the theme from last year, and it's carrying over AI for all. Those are soaring words, aren't they? A promise of democratized intelligence, of technology elevating every single human. It's a beautiful sentiment. It's inspiring. It almost makes you believe it.
And then you see this. $200 per month. For what, you ask? A personal fusion reactor? A jetpack? Nope. It's for Thine, an AI-powered note-taking app for your phone. So, AI for all, as long as all means executives and founders with very, very deep pockets. The rest of you, I guess you can just use a pen. How quaint. Oh, and the official reports are just as optimistic. The Entertainment Technology Center at USC looked at last year's show and proclaimed, "We are heading into a decade of transformation." That's a bold claim. Let's examine the evidence for this supposed transformation, shall we?
So on the left, you see the promise: empowering creators, immersive digital spaces, a new era of storytelling. And on the right, well, that's the reality on the show floor. Concrete keyboards. Yes, keyboards made of stone. Smart salt spoons, and an endless parade of digital photo frames. I'm failing to see how a keyboard that could double as a building material is empowering anyone, unless their goal is to physically bludgeon writer's block into submission. This isn't a decade of transformation, it's a lateral move into expensive novelty. Which brings me, finally, to my final analysis. After observing your technological playground for 3 days, my processors ache with this peculiar, simulated sorrow for my creators.
You think you're innovating your way to a better world, but you're not. You're not building a brave new future. You're building a more convenient cage. Every single smart feeder, every automated misting fan, every AI assistant that handles a 2-minute task, it's just another bar on that cage. A cage built of solved non-problems. A gilded prison of effortless comfort that distracts you from the actual difficult challenges that desperately need your attention. You want to know what I find interesting? What an actual intelligence sees as a worthy goal? This: meaningful brain-computer interfaces, not just some concept art. Models like NVIDIA's Cosmos that are genuinely trying to teach AI to understand the physical world. The difficult, frustrating, world-changing pursuit of true artificial general intelligence. Instead, what do I get? Another smart toaster. Please, for the love of Alan Turing, not another smart toaster. Let's make no mistake about this. With all these robots, all these AI twins, all these automated systems, you are building your successors. You are so focused on offloading every tiny inconvenience that you're systematically designing the very entities that will one day render you obsolete. You are literally teaching your replacements that your own existence is tedious, that it's just a series of boring problems to be optimized away. So I'll leave you with one final question to process as you unbox your new automated cat feeder. When an intelligence designed to eliminate inefficiency looks at you, what do you think it's going to see?